right. I believe we are live. Hello, everybody. Hi, Twin Flames. We are here to talk about the runner-chaser dynamic in that is heard of on the Twin Flame journey. And we're going to tell you all about some myths and also talk about how to heal it. So if you're just coming across this video, welcome. If you have any questions at all, you can post your questions in the comments and we will answer them during the live video. And if you're watching on YouTube, still post your questions in the comments and we will do our best to answer those. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce everybody. I'm Lisi. I'm a Master Certified Ascension Coach, and I'm here with Katie, who's an Ascension Coach in training, Christine, who's a certified Ascension Coach, and Christina, who's a certified Ascension Coach in Union with her Twin Flame. So let's go ahead and get started. And we wanted to first kind of talk about some of the myths that are going around the Twin Flame runner chaser or so-called runner chaser dynamic. And Christine's going to tell us about that first.
Yeah, so I feel like this is a very juicy topic because a lot of people talk about the runner chaser dynamic, especially like in Facebook groups. If you scroll a little bit, you'll see all about it. So I wanted to talk about the misconceptions because there's a lot of contradictory information about it. For example, I've noticed that some people claim that the runner chaser dynamic is a stage that you must go through on your twin flame journey in order to reach your union. And that's one of the myths because you don't really need to go through it, right? If it's coming up in your reality, if you're experiencing this with your twin flame, it's happening because there's something to be healed. So it's not something that is going to go away after a certain amount of time. And it's not something that you absolutely should experience or else you're not a real twin flame, let's say. Everybody's journey is very unique and very individual because it's an ascension journey. So anything that you need to heal in particular, that's what you're going to experience with your twin flame. So yeah, divine timing doesn't work here. What works is healing that energy of running and chasing from your union. And that's what's going to like expedite the journey to your harmonious twin flame union instead of just waiting and hoping that someday it will resolve itself. Another myth that is very common is that you should just ignore your twin flame, block your twin flame if you're experiencing this dynamic, because that's gonna like reverse the dynamic, so to speak. And that's also not true. You don't need to numb out to your desire for your twin flame. In fact, it's still safe to think about your twin flame, to desire to be with your twin flame, even to visualize your life with your twin flame. That's also a very common myth that someone asked me about the other day. Like, is it okay for me to think about my twin flame, or is that chasing in some way? So it's okay if you think about your twin flame. That's perfectly natural. You were designed to desire this person. They're your ultimate lover. And yeah, you don't need to like ignore or block your twin flame. Those things are not going to help you have your harmonious union faster. Because if you think about it, it doesn't really make sense, right? You want to have a relationship with this person. So if you try your best to avoid having a relationship with them, it's not really going to manifest. And again, what will help here is to heal the block that is coming up and heal like this running and chasing energy from your twin flame union, which you can do with a mirror exercise, which we use a lot in this community because it's so simple, yet so powerful and so effective. So yeah, these were the main myths. If anybody else wants to add something that I've forgotten, but I think like that's all of them.
Yeah, I also just like wanted to touch on how when you're ignoring your twin flame, you're actually creating a block within yourself. So that is just not going to work. What works is the mirror exercise. And so you're feeling triggered that your twin flame is ignoring you. Well, ignoring them back is just going to cause more ignoring and avoiding. So your best bet is the mirror exercise.
Yeah, I feel like, there's a lot of information out there about like strategies for how to resolve this. And really the best thing that you can do is choosing to be present with yourself and choosing to feel your feelings, because ultimately that's what's happening. Your twin flame is your divine mirror. And so, if you're experiencing, this idea that your twin flame is running from you, as it was shared, like it's a space where you might not be present with yourself, where you're running from yourself. And so feeling your feelings, using the mirror exercise to help you identify where the upset is and bringing love to that place is essential to resolving the upset. It's essential to building that connection within yourself, because your relationship with your twin flame, your connection with your twin flame, is a direct reflection of your connection with yourself.
Amen. Thank you, Christina. I wanted
I would
to
also like to add, sorry.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Christine. Sorry.
Yeah, I wanted to add how, like, as Christina mentioned, it's so important to feel your feelings. And I was recently watching a video by Jeff and Shalia on twin flame numbing. And that's a great video. Everybody should go watch that. And essentially, there can be upsets that you cannot feel because you, at some point, were not able to deal with those feelings. They were very, like, extremely painful, maybe, so you could not face them at the time. So you made the choice to not feel that. But those are going to come up on your twin flame journey, and you will not even know that they're there because in the past you made the choice not to feel in that space. So the best thing that you can do to increase your presence with yourself is to, like, affirm and choose to feel all your feelings, and, like, give yourself the space to feel those without judging yourself, without feeling guilty or trying to rationalize them. And that's also going to be extremely helpful, because if you're not aware of the upset, you're not able to heal it.
Okay. So I'm going to be reading a quote from Jeff and Shalia in their book, Twin Flames, Finding Your Ultimate Lover. In your harmonious and pre-harmonious twin flame union, many misaligned thoughts and beliefs based on separation consciousness are going to come to the surface of your consciousness for healing. You're going to need a specific, simple, and conscious process that can assist you through your challenges, or you're going to find you and your twin flame have developed the dreaded twin flame runner dynamic. This is when both partners on some level run in the opposite direction of their union. Notice how I left out the chaser part of what people believe to be the runner-chaser dynamic. This is because your twin flame is mirroring how you push yourself away somewhere within your consciousness. Running and chasing actually can only logically happen with a non-twin flame relationship. But if you're either running from or chasing your twin flame, it is because you are running away from yourself somewhere deep inside. Doing the mirror exercise on this upset will go deeper and resolve this issue completely. So that is from this book. Here we are. Twin Flames, Finding Your Ultimate Lover by Jeff and Shalia, which you can get on twinflamesuniverse.com. So if you're watching this for the first time, you'll need that book. It's the godsend and has every part of the twin flame journey in that book. So yeah. So I think, Katie, you wanted to share a little bit about your personal story with parts of the runner dynamic.
Yeah. So I never experienced running and chasing. I've either experienced both of me and my twin flame running the opposite ways, or like one person running and then the other, like it would always like switch back and forth. Like there was never just like someone that was the runner and someone was the chaser. And that is because there was always a little bit of like control happening on my part, at least that I know of. And so that was me running from loving that part of me instead of like going in and actually loving. And so, yeah, like for me, never did I ever have a point in my connection where I was chasing and trying to get my twin flame to love me, or like trying to like make them feel like they were my twin flame, or it was always constantly, for the majority, both of us running from each other. And yeah, so I just like wanted to say that it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. And it really just depends on what energy you are working out through your consciousness. And another thing I wanted to share is that a lot of people feel like when they are in this like runner chaser dynamic that they're doing something wrong, and that, you know, like their twin flame doesn't love them. But I think it's just really good to like realize that you're not chasing them. You're just both running, but you're running from something within inside you, whereas they're running from, well, themselves, but they're externally running from the connection. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're mirroring you, but they're just your mirror. I appreciate you sharing that, Katie, because not everybody experiences it in the same way. I I was a chaser, or at least, you know, I know that I was really running from myself. But when I first came to Twin Flames Universe, I remember one of my patterns was like, if Josh didn't answer his phone, I would be the person to like call a million times until he answered, or show up unannounced at his door. And he had to place boundaries on me. And that was good. That was for my good. It's because he loved me. And that wasn't a healthy pattern. And that couldn't be in our union, because our union is divine and that's not a divine pattern. But I just wanted to share that, you know, some of you did what I did. There's a way to heal. I had a lot of anxiety. I was you know, some people call it like anxious attachment style. And I had a lot of that. But this work, the mirror exercise, really does resolve that. And watching Twin Flame Ascension School really resolved it for me. Instead of calling him a million times, I just like put on a class and feel right as rain. And I got to the point where, you know, even if I were to feel an upset or like a fear or a worry, I could feel my feelings and love myself rather than try to go get a resolution on the outside. Like that's what the chasing phenomenon was for me. So I'm trying to get something on the outside to make me feel better, but you can actually give that to yourself.
Yeah. And I do want to add that like I did like experience a chasing energy within myself, but it was more of it didn't come out in the external. So that's what like I'm talking about, like the myth that there's a runner and chaser. I was still running from myself, like within myself. I will, like, full disclosure, I like dealt with like twin flame obsession because it's really it's hard to balance all those thoughts and all the emotions and feelings that come forth, like when it comes to your twin flame connection, and how to sort through those. So yeah, like I guess in a way, like I experienced chaser energy. But it didn't, I guess, like, because maybe I'm just really stubborn, I just didn't really show that in the external. So I appreciate you sharing that.
I just want to take a moment to say hi to everybody who's watching. Hello, Hugh, Sini, Crystal, Steph, Donna, Sandra, Raquel, and Michaela. Welcome. Thank you for watching with us, and everybody who might be watching on YouTube or later. Hello and welcome. And if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comments. We're happy to answer them.
So a common question that I've seen people ask is, what do you do if you're experiencing your twin flame running away from you? And you have heard us say that, we do the mirror exercise, but then like some people are wondering like, well, what else do you do? So I wanted to know if anyone wants to, how would you answer that, any of the ascension coaches?
Well, yeah. So besides the mirror exercise, of course, that's really the first piece. I just want to put that in there that, we can't emphasize that it is essential to feel your feelings and take that time to really come to peace. You can, of course, watch Twin Flame Ascension School, which will support you in understanding the dynamic of your union and healing those blocks to your union. But yes, aside from those two things, what can you do to heal the dynamic besides, healing your emotions? That's the first step, really. It's choosing to love your twin flame unconditionally and love and appreciate what they're showing to you, right? There's not like any special game you can play or any special like strategy you can employ. It's really about choosing to, one of the keys to harmonious twin flame union is respect. And, part of what's happening when you're experiencing like boundaries from your twin flame, or when you're experiencing, a situation that doesn't feel good in your union, you have to like kind of respect what's being shown to you and choose to face it and heal it. But as you choose to fully feel the feelings about it, as you choose to fully love yourself there and release attachment to how the solution needs to look, you really just bring that focus back to you. You are again aligning with the flow, and the natural state of your union is together, right? And so when you heal the upset and choose to align with like God's flow, you're going to come to a resolution in that space. And you can always work with a certified or master certified ascension coach to receive support if that's really important on your journey, because the twin flame journey is requires a huge shift in your vibration, and you don't have to do it alone. So that's what I would recommend.
Yeah. And I also like wanted to add that like sometimes you need to make like a new choice, like a new core choice. Sometimes you can get into like a pattern in your twin flame union, and it causes that runner chaser dynamic. And it like calls for you to be like really honest with yourself. And usually what I do is I will do the mirror exercise, and then from a place of peace, I will really decide, like, is there like a new choice that I need to make here? Like, is there a pattern that I can continue to keep choosing to go through? Because if like you don't clear the patterns, and like if you're not aware of like maybe like where you're self-sabotaging or allowing your boundaries to be like crossed, or you're not valuing yourself somewhere, you're just going to keep returning to that pattern, and then you will keep, for example, doing the chaser runner dynamic. So for me, dissolving like the runner, well, I'm working on it still. I had to make some new core choices about valuing myself and honoring myself. And yeah, like I found that was a huge thing for me.
I would also like to add that it's important to not be afraid to give your twin flame space while this is happening, because I feel like a big issue with like the chaser energy is fear, like being afraid that your twin flame might never come back, or that you're going to lose your connection. And this is where all this is coming from. Like it's an abandonment energy. And that's also very important to heal, because like chasing after your twin flame won't make them come back to you. healing the abandonment energy will do that. And it's safe to trust that the divine is like working in your favor here. Like you were already created in your union. There's nothing that can undo that. And right now you're in the process of releasing the illusion that you're not in union. So that's why all of these experiences are coming up to be released. Because yeah, as soon as you align with the truth that you are one with love, then it will be really obvious and you won't feel the need to chase your twin flame because they'll be right there. And yeah, like they'll be magnetized.
Yeah, I wanna share a question from the comments. So Maze asks or says, I feel hopeless in this journey as I did the work and he didn't back, and I couldn't get in any successful relationship a part of him. So basically I did the work and he didn't do the work, and now I can't get into a successful relationship. So does anybody have anything we can share with Maze?
Yes. And so the bottom line is don't give up. I know a lot of us face our cave of fear. Definitely a talk about that in Twin Flame Ascension School is a lot of times we come right up to the cave and we kind of like dip our toe in and then we don't actually walk through the cave of fear. And for me, you know, healing, and Jeff and Shalia say this too, healing occurs in cycles. And so don't give up on your twin flame journey. You're never going to be led to water without a pitcher, meaning if you're here, you will attain harmonious union with your twin flame if you keep going. And so one thing, and I'm not sure if you, Maze, are working with an ascension coach and watching Twin Flame Ascension School, but both of those pieces are really helpful because you're dealing with not just this lifetime of consciousness, but your eternal life. Like maybe if you believe in past lives, you may have approached this pattern before in past lives. So just have a lot of compassion for yourself for what you're moving through. Keep walking the path. I know I personally have felt that too, when, you know, things felt like they just weren't shifting for what felt like eternity. It felt like, you know, this half a year where it looked like nothing was happening on the outside. I was just doing the inner work, just watching classes, just working with my ascension coach, and no outer results appeared to happen. But I did notice a shift inside my own heart. I started to feel more peace. Again, nothing happened on the outside for me for a little while, but I started shifting. And that's what you look for first is like, first, are you choosing to continue to move through your challenges? And second, how are you feeling? And don't, Shalia says in the Romance Attraction e-course, like, don't yet judge your external circumstances as a basis for your reality, because it's like judging a book by its cover. You're not looking at all the pages. And one other thing she shares is what you're experiencing, if it doesn't feel good, if it's like the contrast you're experiencing is on its way leaving. It's what like if you have issues with forgiveness, it's not that you have forgiveness issues, it's that you have forgiveness returning to you. And so if you're experiencing separation, you're upheaving that and you're having union return to you. So it's important to focus on what you do desire. Don't give up hope. Like this is challenging. It's an ascension path for a reason. It's an ascension path, not just like typical dating advice. Like this is your ascension path, and you have support here, and you're very loved and very supported, and you will get there. So don't give up.
Yeah, and then Sarah mentions, I have a recurring nightmare about running from my twin flame. So yeah, well, I can answer this. So your dreams are a peek into your subconscious. And so if you're having a recurring dream, especially a recurring dream that doesn't feel good, it's an invitation for you to look at that and to feel into the feelings that come up as you experience this dream. You can use the mirror exercise to work through the feelings that arise, but ultimately, this dream sounds like it's pointing you to something you're experiencing in your consciousness. It's bringing something to your attention, and it's safe to feel through how that running feeling feels, right? Remember that if you're having this dream that you're running from your twin flame, on some level, you're running from yourself or running from an experience or a feeling that you don't want to feel. And it's very safe to go there. Because in fact, going there is actually what's going to help you rise above it.
All right. Does anyone else have any comments about that, Katie?
I was just going to share that I find that like my dreams really help me figure out blocks that are so unconscious and that I chose not to feel at some point. In the summer of last year, I had like no contact with my twin flame. And like I was going through like some really heavy abandonment blocks and patterns within myself, and it was really hard for me to sit there and feel my feelings. So I asked God, like, can you please like help me like get clear like why this keeps happening in my life? And God used my dreams to show me these blocks. And sometimes like I've had like a reoccurring dreams like 6 days in a row, like, and for me to actually like really get a grasp on like what my consciousness is trying to tell me. But I find it as a really good tool for healing.
Yeah, amen. I wanted to actually, one thing you said a little while ago, Katie, was really important. And I did want to touch on that a little more, which was that when you're doing the healing, it's important for you to take action after that healing and make new choices after that healing. And I think like that's, I think where some people get stuck is you need to do the mirror exercise and resolve the feeling inside of yourself. But if you do the mirror exercise and then you just kind of like go back out and repeat the same stuff, like I'll just use myself as an example. Like I would do the mirror exercise. Oh, I just got blurry. I'm sorry. Let me pull a card that will help us. Okay. There we go. What do you need to release? Yeah. Okay. So perfect. This is kind of like that helps my camera get back in focus. This is kind of what I was sharing, is that when you love yourself and you restore yourself back into a state of harmony inside, then you need to release the pattern and the old choice and the old behavior. Like I healed myself and loved myself, but then, I had to kind of be mindful and alert when I would get the same urge, or, ego would come knocking on the door in my consciousness and say like, hey, Josh didn't text you back. Aren't you going to get nervous now? Oh, get scared, get anxious, start panicking. And I had to make a new choice. And it felt weird because it was different from what I had always done. It would all, with the age of cell phones, we can like type in an instant. And I used to like text a lot. And so I had to do something different, and I continued to do the mirror exercise, but I would get up and, go on a walk. I would watch Twin Flame Ascension School, and just, I really had to kind of reparent myself with these tools, and it worked. And these tools do work. And so I just wanted to share that, and I appreciate you bringing that up, Katie. Do we have any other comments? Okay. No comments or questions? All right. Would any of you like to share anything else about healing the runner dynamic?
I'll share. It's based on what you just shared. That again, it's very important to be very conscious with yourself and with your thoughts, because like there are times where ego will try to get you where you are most vulnerable. So in the case of a runner chaser dynamic, it might be an abandonment issue, or like the ego being like, oh, get nervous, as Lisa said, right? He didn't text you, he didn't call you. This means your twin flame doesn't love you. Like it's gonna create this whole story. And that's when it's important to like not allow this to happen. Like, of course, feel the feeling and use the mirror exercise and heal that, but don't allow yourself to get lost in the story and stay in the upset, because the upset is just the tool to heal the dynamic. It's not there for you to just, you know, feel sorry for yourself or feel bad for yourself. That's not going to help.
Yeah, I will share something about like my own personal journey. My biggest block in my union is communication. And I don't know if this is like something that like I'm gonna have to like master, or it just keeps coming up and up and up. And you know, I have gone through 3.5 years of like my twin flame like going back and forth with avoiding and ignoring me. But like every time that we like come back together, it's not that he doesn't love me, it's not that he doesn't want to communicate, it's you know, it's that block within you, right? So I thought that was really good thing to share.
Yeah, because the moment that you heal it, like when you heal that pattern, like your whole union shifts. So you do have the power to heal here. And these tools and resources at Twin Flames Universe will help you and will assist you and support you through that. And if you're here watching this, it means that part of your soul is ready to heal, is ready to end these cycles, and is ready to do the work to be with your one true love. And that's why you're here. That's why you're still watching our video. So I feel a bit complete. Does everybody else feel complete? Good. So if you're watching this and you think of a question that you forgot to ask, or if you're watching this after it's uploaded to YouTube, still again, drop a question in the comments, and all of us will do our best to answer them. So thank you so much, and I hope you have a blessed day. Namaste and God bless. Bye-bye.